Have you ever noticed?
Some people walk into a room, say just a few words, and suddenly they've got everyone's attention. The energy shifts. People lean in, they listen, they respect them. And then there are others. They talk, they explain, they over-explain, and it's like their words just evaporate. No one listens. No one remembers. Here's the uncomfortable truth most people never hear. It's not just what you say that determines how people treat you. It's how you say it. The way you speak, your tone, your confidence, your language, it silently communicates how people should see you, respect you, value you. So today I want to show you exactly how to speak in a way that flips that dynamic forever. How to speak so that people listen, so that people treat you with respect, so that your words and your presence carry weight. Because once you master this, everything shifts. Your relationships, your career, your confidence, it all levels up. Let me start by saying this isn't about being louder. It's not about dominating a conversation or proving how smart you are. It's about being intentional, about understanding the subtle psychology behind language and using it to your advantage. First, eliminate uncertainty from your voice. Most people weaken their message with phrases like, I could be wrong, but I just think maybe. Does that make sense? Sound familiar? These phrases signal one thing: self-doubt. And when you sound unsure of yourself, people question you, whether consciously or not. Instead, speak with certainty. Replace I just think with I believe. Replace does that make sense with let me know if you have questions. Confidence isn't about having all the answers. It's about speaking like you believe in your message. Second, speak with purposeful pauses. People who rush their words seem nervous. People who pause, they seem in control. Silence isn't awkward, it's powerful.
When you pause, you create space.
Space for your words to land. Space for people to absorb your message. Space that communicates, I'm not here to beg for your attention. You're choosing to listen. Third, remove apology language from everyday conversation. We don't even realize how often we shrink ourselves with phrases like, sorry to bother you. Sorry, can I just...
I know this might be silly, but...
Every unnecessary sorry chips away at your authority. Of course, apologize when it's appropriate, but stop apologizing for taking up space. You belong in the room. Speak like it. Finally, speak from self-respect, not insecurity. When you communicate from insecurity, your words sound like a question, like you're asking permission to be heard. But when you speak from self-respect, you don't beg for approval. You state your truth. You set boundaries clearly. You share your thoughts with conviction and let others adjust their perception accordingly. The way you speak becomes a silent instruction manual for how people treat you. Take with uncertainty, they'll question you. Speak with self-respect, they'll respect you. Speak with clarity, they'll listen. So I challenge you, starting today, strip the hesitation from your language. Replace uncertainty with confidence. Use pauses to your advantage. Let your words and your presence command quiet respect. Because once you do, you won't just change the way you sound, you'll change the way people see you. And once people see you differently, they treat you differently forever. One, eliminate uncertainty from your language. If there's one thing that instantly changes how people treat you, it's the way you carry your words. And nothing weakens your message faster than uncertainty in your language. Most people don't even realize how often they undermine themselves with the words they choose. They walk into conversations full of doubt, hesitation, and disclaimers, all hidden in plain sight. You hear it in phrases like, I could be wrong, but I just think maybe, does that make sense?
I'm not an expert, but...
It sounds harmless, right? Maybe even polite. But here's the truth. No one tells you.
Those phrases broadcast insecurity.
They silently instruct people to second guess you. And let's be clear, you can be the smartest, most capable person in the room. But if your language is wrapped in self-doubt, that's all people will notice, because the world doesn't just listen to what you say, they listen to how you say it. Think of it this way. When you preface your opinion with "I could be wrong," but you're already planting the idea in someone's mind that maybe you are wrong. When you say "I just think maybe," you dilute the power of your words. When you constantly ask, "Does that make sense?" it doesn't sound like you care about clarity. It sounds like you're questioning your ability to communicate. And over time, that chips away at how people see you. But when you consciously eliminate that uncertainty, you flip the dynamic completely. Your words carry weight. People lean in, they listen, they respect you. So how do you do it? Simple shifts, but they require intentionality. Replace "I could be wrong," but with "from my perspective." Swap "I just think maybe" with "I believe." Change "Does that make sense?" to "Let me know if you have questions." See the difference? You're no longer shrinking your message, you're owning it. And that confidence, it's contagious. Now, let me be clear. Speaking with certainty doesn't mean you have all the answers. It doesn't mean you're arrogant or dismissive of other perspectives. Real confidence is humble. It's grounded. But it does mean you believe in your right to express yourself. The moment you clean up your language, when you strip out the disclaimers, the doubt, the uncertainty, people take notice. They listen differently. They treat you differently. And most importantly, you start seeing yourself differently. Because confidence isn't something you wait to feel. It's something you choose to speak into existence. And when your language reflects that choice, the world responds. 2, use purposeful pauses to project authority. One of the most magnetic, powerful tools you have when you speak isn't your vocabulary, it isn't your pitch, it isn't even how loud your voice is. It's your ability to pause. I want you to really let that sink in, because most people completely overlook this. They think confidence is about filling space with words, keeping the conversation going, never letting silence creep in. But that constant need to fill space, it screams nervous energy. It screams insecurity. Confident people, they understand the power of silence. They're not afraid of it. They use it. Think of someone you admire, someone who commands attention when they speak. Chances are they don't rush. They don't blurt out every thought in a frantic, anxious stream of words. They pause. They let their words land. They create space for impact. Here's what happens when you pause intentionally. You slow your breathing. You sound more grounded. You give your listener space to absorb what you're saying. You subtly signal, "I'm not desperate for your approval. I'm in control." It completely shifts the energy in a room. But let me be real with you. Pausing feels uncomfortable at first, especially if you've spent your whole life rushing to get your words out before someone interrupts or before your nerves betray you. But that discomfort, it's exactly where your growth lives. When you learn to sit in that tiny moment of silence, to breathe, to let your words echo, people lean in. They listen harder because you're not chasing their attention. You're commanding it. Here's a little technique to practice this. Before you respond to someone, count 1, 2 in your head. It's subtle, but it slows you down. And in that pause, you reclaim your presence. You also buy yourself a moment to think, to respond, not react. And nothing communicates quiet authority more than a thoughtful, deliberate response. This works everywhere. In meetings, when you want your words to carry weight. On dates, when you want to create attraction and intrigue. In everyday conversations, when you want to be seen as someone who's calm, confident, and completely in control of themselves. People pick up on your energy before they process your words. When you rush, you feel anxious. When you pause, you feel powerful. And over time, that power compounds. People treat you differently. They respect you. They trust you. Not because you raised your voice, but because you mastered the quiet moments in between. So next time you speak, don't rush. Pause. Let your words and your presence do the heavy lifting. Because the most magnetic people speak with silence as much as they do with words. 3, remove apology language that weakens you. Let me ask you something. How often do you apologize, not because you've done something wrong, but because you're uncomfortable taking up space? It's subtle. Most of us do it without even thinking. We start emails with, sorry to bother you. We walk into a room and say, sorry, I just have a quick question. We share an opinion and immediately follow it up with, sorry if that sounds silly. And every time we do it, we shrink ourselves. We chip away at our authority. We quietly teach people to see us as less confident, less certain, less worthy of respect. Now, don't get me wrong. When you've genuinely made a mistake, apologize. Sincerely. Own it. That shows strength. But apologizing for existing, for speaking, for asking a question, that's not humility. That's insecurity in disguise. And here's the problem. People listen to your language. But even more than that, they listen to your energy behind the language. When your words say, I'm sorry for bothering you, what people really hear is,
I don't believe I'm worthy of your time.
I'm not sure I should even be saying this. Please don't be annoyed with me. And whether they realize it consciously or not, people respond to that. They take your lead. If you treat your voice like an inconvenience, others will too. But when you remove that unnecessary apology language, the shift is immediate. You sound more grounded. You take up space without explanation. You quietly communicate, I belong here. I have the right to speak. I have value to add. So here's what I challenge you to do. Audit your language. Notice when sorry slips out of your mouth, not because you made a mistake, but because you feel uncomfortable asserting yourself. And when you catch it, replace it. Instead of sorry to bother you, try, do you have a moment? Instead of sorry if this sounds silly, say, here's what I'm thinking. Instead of sorry, I just wanted to say, try. I wanted to share. See how different that feels. No apology, no shrinking, just calm, clear, confident communication. Because every time you remove those unnecessary apologies, you reinforce your self-respect. You show people you value your voice. And as a result, they start valuing it too. So speak up. Own your space. Save your apologies for when they matter. Because confidence isn't loud, it's quiet, consistent ownership of your words without needing permission to be here. 4, speak from self-respect, not insecurity. You know what's interesting? People can hear the difference between confidence and insecurity. Even if you never explicitly say the words, it's not just what you say, it's where you speak from. When your words come from insecurity, they sound like a question. Like you're asking permission to take up space, to be heard, to be seen. But when your words come from self-respect, you don't have to prove yourself. You don't have to dominate. You simply speak and people listen. And here's the thing, this isn't about arrogance. It's not about walking into a room and bulldozing everyone with your opinion. It's about showing up in conversations, in meetings, in relationships, rooted in the quiet belief, I have value, I deserve to be heard. I'm not here to impress, I'm here to express. Most people don't realize how often their words leak insecurity. They over-explain, they ramble, they constantly justify themselves. They water down their opinions to avoid conflict. And every time they do that, they teach people, you don't have to take me seriously. But when you speak from self-respect, the entire energy shifts. Your sentences become more concise. Your tone levels out. No nervous energy, no desperate need for approval. Your words carry weight, not because you raised your voice, but because you rooted yourself in calm certainty. Let me give you a real example. Imagine someone asks for your opinion in a meeting. Insecurity sounds like, well, I'm not sure if this makes sense, but I was just thinking, maybe we could try. Self-respect sounds like, here's my perspective. I believe this approach could be effective. One sounds hesitant, the other sounds clear. And guess which one people naturally respond to? The one that comes from self-respect. Because when you respect your own voice, when you believe you deserve to be heard, you subconsciously give others permission to believe it too. And the best part, you don't have to feel 100% confident to speak from self-respect. Confidence often follows action. You start by adjusting your language, and over time, your mindset catches up. So ask yourself before you speak, am I coming from insecurity or from self-respect? And if it's insecurity, pause, breathe, reframe, because when your words stem from self-respect, people notice, they listen, they value you, and they treat you with the respect you've already decided to give yourself. 5, let your body language match your words. It's easy to focus on what you say, the words, the tone, the message, but here's the part most people overlook. Your body speaks before your mouth ever does. You can say the most confident, articulate thing in the world, but if your body language contradicts your words, people will believe your body every single time. Think about it. You've probably seen this happen. Someone says, I'm confident in my idea, but they avoid eye contact, fidget with their hands, or shrink their posture, or they say, I deserve respect, but their shoulders slump and their voice trails off, and instantly the message is lost. Because we're wired to read nonverbal signals. Before people consciously process your words, they've already made decisions about your confidence, your authority, and your value based on how you physically show up. So if you want people to treat you differently, your body has to tell the same story as your words. Here's how you do it. Ears, start with your posture. Confident posture isn't stiff or forced. It's grounded. Shoulders back, spine straight, chin level. You take up space calmly like you belong there, because you do. Eyeballs, make eye contact, but don't stare. Eye contact communicates presence. It says, I see you, I'm here. But there's a difference between grounded eye contact and aggressive staring. The goal isn't to intimidate, it's to connect. Maintain natural eye contact, especially when making a key point. Often use your hands with purpose. Fidgeting or hiding your hands communicates nervousness. Intentional gestures, open palms, measured hand movements, emphasize your words and show composure. Your hands are an extension of your message, and stillness signals control. People who can be still while they speak. No frantic pacing, no restless movements. Project calm, quiet confidence. Stillness makes people lean in. It shows I'm grounded, I'm not rushing, I know my words have weight. Own your space. Whether you're sitting or standing, avoid shrinking. Don't cross your arms protectively or fold inward. Confident people allow themselves to physically exist in the space unapologetically, because here's the truth most people miss. When your body language aligns with your words, your message lands with power. When it contradicts them, people sense it. Even if they can't explain why, they'll feel something's off. And that moment of disconnection, it weakens your presence. But when your body quietly says, I respect myself, I believe in my words, people feel it, they adjust, they listen, they treat you with the respect your presence already demands. So next time you walk into a room, before you speak, check your body. Because often the way you stand, the way you hold yourself, the way you look someone in the eye, that's what people respond to long before your first word ever leaves your mouth. 6, understand your voice is a silent instruction manual. Here's the truth about how people treat you that no one really tells you. It's not random. It's not based purely on your achievements, your looks, or even your intelligence. It's based on what you silently teach them through your energy, your language, and the way you show up, and your voice. It's one of the most powerful yet overlooked tools in that teaching process. Every time you open your mouth to speak, you are sending a subtle, silent instruction manual to the people around you. You are telling them how much to respect you, how seriously to take you, whether your words carry weight or whether they can dismiss you. And the thing is, most people do this unconsciously. They speak with hesitation, uncertainty, or self-doubt, and then wonder why people overlook them, interrupt them, or ignore their ideas. But when you become intentional with your voice, when you understand that every sentence, every tone, every pause communicates how people should treat you, that's when everything shifts. Imagine this. You walk into a room, you speak clearly, with self-respect, with conviction. You're not loud. You're not trying to dominate. You're simply rooted, calm, certain. That alone tells people, I respect myself. You should too. You don't have to demand respect. You've already taught them to give it without saying those exact words. It works the other way too. If your tone is weak, if your words trail off, if your sentences are full of disclaimers and apologies, you've handed people an instruction manual that says it's okay to dismiss me, I'm not sure of myself, so you don't have to be either. But once you see your voice as that instruction manual and you choose to write it intentionally, you change the game. Here's what that looks like. Okay. Speaking with clarity, short, clear sentences, over rambling or over explaining. Ussing using calm, grounded tone, free of desperate approval seeking. Ussing eliminating weak filler words like just, maybe, kind of. Speaking with pauses, not rushing, not panicking to fill the silence. Ussing, letting your words match your body, aligned, consistent, intentional. It's a simple shift, but it has a profound, because over time, people stop guessing how to treat you. You've already taught them, and they respond. The best part? This isn't about faking confidence or trying to manipulate anyone. It's about finally realizing you set the standard. You decide. So speak like someone who respects themselves. Speak like someone who knows their words carry weight. To speak like someone rewriting the instruction manual one calm, clear, confident sentence at a time. Because once you do, watch how people treat you differently. Watch how opportunities open up. Watch how the energy in every room shifts. All because you finally understood your voice isn't just sound, it's a quiet, constant message. And now you get to control what that message says.